Hey everybody, this is Brian with 1462 Studios. I am here with the Adams family. I'm sorry Tara couldn't be with us. She had an appointment today. But this is going to be one of my favorite out of all of our interviews or shows that we have done, and we'll get to that a little later on why. But we have Clarence and Amber Adams. Let's go ahead and
Daughter
start.
Josie and son Amadeus.
We're going to go around and show you a little bit of everything they have and exactly what they do. And then we'll delve more into that, deeper into that later on. All right, first off, we have the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 Bill Johnson look. With Bill Moseley down here. Did you make this to get signed by them specifically? Or
Actually, a client named Jeremy Witherspoon from Kentucky. He commissioned me to do this chair. And basically, as I was building it, he knew that a convention was coming along, and he paid me extra money to go to the convention to have it signed. Because he knew that both of them were actually going to be there. Because he originally just wanted the back of it to be Leatherface, the Bill Johnson version. And then later on, we added the chop top down at the bottom. And he said, well, great, now both of the people who are going to be at the convention, can you have it signed? I said, sure, you're going to have to pay me.
yeah,
Of course.
really is.
And he paid me, and I took the chair all back to park and took each piece to have signed, which, especially with the Bill Moseley, I had to get chop top signed. But
Oh yeah.
I was definitely not lugging this chair back through the convention. So I just took the meat hammer and had that signed instead.
I will say, as I'm a Mad Monster Party stiff volunteer there, lugging this stuff in and out to get signatures is not fun. Even the handle of the chair, the faceplate. It's not fun getting through a crowd holding this the whole time to get people to sign it. So that's a lot of dedication. Jeremy, you are one lucky fellow.
Yes, he is.
I see we got some stuff on the side here. Is what all kind of? Oh, is this
Chop tops.
plate scratcher?
Yeah. Chop tops little plate
Oh
scratcher.
yeah, because you gotta lick his plate, you dog.
Yeah. On this
I don't know
side,
if YouTube would kick me off for that.
it says, "Hey, lick my dog," or
Yeah.
"Hey, lick my plate, you dog dick."
That is amazing. Favorite line. I had him put that on one of my autographs.
Yeah, I just.
Oh, it is over here.
Yeah, and if you look at
Take
it
a close up on
you
the
can
side.
you can actually look where it looks like the parts are cut and it's stitched together. Because you got wiring to act like the stitching, like in the mask and stuff. So I had it all stitched together, make it look like it was actually fused together with stitching. And then you cut the colors, of course, different skin textures and stuff like that to give it that play off. And then the red highlights and stuff to make it look like where the sores and bruising would be in the wounds and stuff like that. So that's basically what started the whole frame and gave it the bounce off, I guess you want to call it. And then I didn't like the whole idea. He wanted 2 chainsaw arm handles, and I'm like, I like the fact that he's a meticulous killer. He likes to use different weapons. You have the chainsaw blade, of course. You have to have the blade from the chainsaw. And then, of course, you had the meat hammer in the movie. So I decided, let's make 2 different weapons for the arms of the chair.
Now, if you're making a Dennis Hopper one, part 2, and 2 chainsaws might be.
Yeah. Yeah, the 2 chainsaws might make sense. But the part 2 with Bill Johnson and Bill
Amazing
Moseley.
portrait, and you definitely tell it's Bill Moseley.
Yeah.
Great
He
work
got
on
his-
the eyes.
And he's got his little hanger right
Yeah,
there. Scratching his plate.
I love that piece. And by the way, forgot to start off with this. Clarence also works at Creepy Hollow,
Yeah.
which is a haunted house I've been going to for years. And best thing about it is, some weekends you show up there, and there'll be somebody there you wouldn't imagine. Kane Hodder was there, said hey. Terry Moran, just you never know who's going to be back there.
Costas,
Yep.
Sid Haig.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
You never know who's going to be behind the house because you start off on a bus, you get to the house, you walk through it, all of a sudden you see one of your icons, horror icons, and you get to meet them, get signature on stuff, and then you go on the hayride part. Amazing haunted house, or not really a haunted house, a haunted attraction. I highly recommend visiting. Down here we have an art. That's
Actually, a silicone mask from Immortal Masks.
Immortal Mask. Okay. So I'm trying to keep up with the stuff you have. This is your full size.
Yeah, it's a
Camp
full
Crystal
size,
Lake
3
sign.
foot by 3 foot Camp Crystal Lake sign, weathered. So it's all hand painted. No decals, no stickers. It's all painted.
Next we have the Reagan chair. I love this chair, but I want you to show them the little secret.
The little playoffs here, okay. Well, of course, if you watch the movie, you know that in part of the movie, Help Me welts up on her stomach. And so I engraved it with the router, but up underneath it, you also see this at the very beginning of the movie. And throughout the movie, somewheres, you had the Pazuzu statue. That's underneath it. And then there's also little hidden spots where you have the screw holes, all count as something. There's 3 up there and 3 right there. That means it's 6 up front. And then there's on the side where it says Exorcist, there's 6 over here. And then underneath the Ouija boards, I don't know if you can get over here to see it, so let me get out your way. But underneath the Ouija board, it has another 6 screws. So it gives it the whole line of 666 all the way around the board.
And I just realized, are these the bed headboard posts?
Yeah, these are the bed posts that spun out on the lathe. Basically glued 3 2x6s, spun it out on lathe, cut it in half, made the arms to make it look like the bed post in the movie.
Okay, and this is what you imagine that looked like when she pulled it out?
What, this? No, this is actually when I talked to Linda and asked her the things that she would like to see in a chair like this. She said she wanted to see like upside down crosses somewhere. So I put it on the legs right here, and then of course right here, and then used the Flex Seal and dyed it green to give it that chunky
It's a good idea.
rubber look, and it gives it that vomit to where it looks like it just stuck.
So not only do you collaborate with the people that play the artist, you also collaborate with the customers
The
to
customers,
you
the
can have
actual
lights in
actors.
them, the actors. You add lights. You can have speakers, Bluetooth, and I'm telling you guys, for the price of these, is amazing. This is what we'll jump back to when we go for our sit-down interview. Sentimentally, for me, this started this show. So, I'd like you to tell them a little bit about this chair.
Well, do you want me to tell you how to start it with this chair?
Yes, sir.
Well, of course, I played Michael Myers at a haunted house that he explained at Creepy Hollow Haunted Attractions. And I played Michael Myers out there. I started out as Michael Myers. And I was just going around and it's like, man, it'd be nice to have my own chair out here like a throne. You know how Santa has his throne and Michael Myers has to have his own. So I made me my own spot, even equipped with a knife holder. So when I do sit down and take a break in the back of the haunted house, I have my own throne. And I put it in the back of my pickup truck and I drove it down the street. A lot of people start seeing it like, hey, do you sell those? Or where did you get it? I was like, I made it. I said, well, do you sell it? I said, not really, but I could start making them and sell them. He said, how much would you do it for? So I was like, well, let me get back to you and the cost of the materials and stuff and how long it takes me to make, and I'll tell you then. But eventually I started building them, mass producing them, and actually making them better. But this is the first one I've done, and I'm not ever going to get rid of it. It's the first one I've done. And then, of course, you can actually clearly see in the poster here, it's an upgraded version of it.
And all the information, don't worry about trying to write down real quick. We're going to have all the links and everything right below the video. We'll have ways for you to get in touch with them, and we'll tell you everything about them.
But it started off as a joke. That's what it was. It's just a joke.
What I love also is found somebody locally that does the Tots rehauls, which did an amazing job.
That's where you cue the music. With the knife.
That is the Lamson, and it is the 1978 Lamson chef knife.
Makes a cool noise.
17-inch from tip of the blade to the handle. So you could stab somebody and pin them to a wall.
Yeah. Because you definitely ain't cut nothing in the kitchen.
Right.
And this mask, I definitely got to talk about that one. That's Project 78 from Simon Edwards. He actually from the United Kingdom. He actually molded the mask himself out of clay, and he poured his master mold and everything. He made this mask from the beginning to the end. Poured it, painted it, haired it, everything. And he sent it to me. And he does mask making professionally in the United Kingdoms from Dark Labs Studios is what he does. His name is Simon Edwards, and he's a phenomenal mask maker. If you can definitely tell, it's like he made this more accurate than most Myers mask I've ever seen.
All right, next we got our Jason Part 3 chair. Why don't you tell me all the secrets in this one?
The secrets. Well, I started with this Jason, the Part 3 Jason, because it's more humanized than most of the Jasons, because I'm not big on the whole supernatural entity type killer stuff. I like the more humanized killers. So I basically based this chair. I can make any one that you want, but I favor the Part 3 chair more. But of course, we got the back of the chair from Part 3. And since he was a versatile killer, we gave him a machete arm, and it's got the cup holder. And then we made a meat cleaver.
I love that part.
For the other arm, because for some reason I don't like making the same weapon as the arm. It just kind of takes away from it.
Yep, especially when you use multiple in the movie.
And then on this side, you have the sheet music for the whole.
That is accurate notes.
With the accurate notes, because the guy that I made this for, he has this tattoo on his underarm. The guy who, was Hay Modenfield? I can't pronounce his name, but he signed the dude's arm with the script of the sheet music, and he went and had a tattoo. So I went ahead and took that same tattoo that he showed me and basically put it on his chair. But it is the actual notes from the movie, and a lot of people want to know if it's. It's not. And, and a lot of people misconstrued that. And then on the front side, we have the Camp Crystal Lake signed miniature version. This is a clean version. It's all hand painted and it's all detailed. You can see the trees in the background, the mountain and the water and the boats and the lake. But the color scheme here is to make it look like it was part of the dock. Like the dock was ripped up and used for the chair. So the chair is what I call wet weathering. I wet weather it to make it look like it's old and look like it's part of the dock. And that's part of these pieces.
Now is that like a tabletop epoxy or just a clear?
It's just a clear finish to it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But some of them do come if you want blood spatter on it, on the actual seat parts. I do that like I did on the Michael Myers one, but some people don't want the blood spatter on it, so I don't put it on there. And then on the other side is an actual plank that says Camp Crystal Lake. You can see this piece in the movie too. It's actually in the movies, and it's all engraved. It's not stenciled on or nothing. It's all engraved. I've done it freehand with a router, and then I cut it out to make it look like it's broke.
Yep.
And then of course I did the wet weathering on this to give it that old tarnished look. So it gets it that play off like it's been sitting in the woods and in the weather and the water basically. And then since we've got Jason masks everywhere here. This mask here, the Part 3 mask, was actually made by Matt Dennis of Machete Man Customs. And the hood here is actually made by a guy named Topher with a New Kind of Fear Customs. He does amazing work. He sculpts everything out himself, and he makes his own hoods and masks and things like that. So he does his own masks like these, but he also does the hoods. And Matt Dennis does a lot of the hawks, just the hawks by themselves, and he goes under the company name of Machete Man Customs.
You said Machete Man Customs local, correct? North Carolina?
North Carolina.
So Machete Man Customs, I may be coming to you for an interview.
And here's his information. You can see Machete Man Customs.
As good as it's gonna get.
And I think there's well, that's private message. And of course, that's not one of his. Here's a few of his masks that he's made for me. That's the Versus mask. That's the 7. Part 5. Of course, that's the Part 3. And that's the Part 6.
And the detail in them is incredible. I mean, even as far as the nose, that exact crack from Part 7 gets down to the detail. A lot of people will leave that out or either just take the paint off the tip of the nose.
Mm-hmm.
Actually putting the crack in there is awesome.
And then over here is another hood made by the same guy from the New Kind of Fierce Custom, which is also local in North Carolina. This is the Part 4 mask that Machete Man Customs Matt Dennis also made. But this is the hood. I won that from a raffle, $10 raffle. I actually got my
Best
name.
$10 ever.
Right. It was, but like I said, you can see he's got his little logo on the back side of it. Right there. ANKF. That's what he does. He makes some amazing work. All types of hoods. Back on.
Next we're going to move on to the Freddy chair, which this one has all the bells and whistles. Because not only do you have your slots for your glove to sit in, which is just a great idea, but we have all the little things about Freddy. You have the furnace, and you said this one does light up.
Yeah, they do get the lights and stuff. I ain't got it hooked up right now because I ain't got the power sitting right here to do it.
But that'll light up like a furnace.
It does light up. The furnace right here, it does open up. Yeah, he stuck our
That's
beer
where
bottle
the
caps in it.
That's where those caps went.
But, and then you can read it has the whole song in there, 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you, all the way across it. And then everything was hand painted on there. The Elm Street sign has the claw marks. Distressed it to make it look old and weathered, and then put blood spatter across it. And of course, I'm favored to the Robert Englund version of Freddy Krueger. But everybody has a preference. This is mine. I like that. But like I said, it's not limited to Robert Englund. If you want somebody else as Freddy on here, we can make that happen too.
I do love the Robert Englund is my preference, but the glove wise, I like the practicality of the 2010 glove.
Yeah.
So you're not pulling up the
210.
back of the back of the glove when you're moving your fingers.
But on this side, we just got claw marks like he came across and clawed it. And on this side, on the inside here, it just has the movie Nightmare on Elm Street. It's all hand painted. There's nothing that's stickered. It's all hand paint from the very beginning. It's all done from the beginning to end, all by hand. Nothing else other than hand paint, airbrush, you name it. That's what we do. We don't like stickers or decals. I mean, there ain't nothing wrong with it, but I'd rather.
That's one thing I like about your chairs is nobody gets the same piece.
No, even if they wanted a chair like this, say they wanted the Jason chair. Not one chair is the same ever. I don't make them exactly the same. That way, when you do get it, it's for you and no one else. And I mean, I'll change the way the design looks or the way the picture looks. That way, each one is basically different from the other one. So when you got it, it's still a one-off. Just like if you see in here, you see a weathered sign. You see down here, it's not weathered. It's something different.
Especially darker shades in the suit.
Yeah, you got different shades in the suit. This is actually the first Jason chair I've ever made.
And I like that a lot because as a collector, you always want to have that one-of-a-kind piece. A lot of people can come over and say, yeah, I've seen that 100 times, but if you have that one-of-a-kind, that's going to draw attention.
And it's like, in my collection with the chairs, the Freddy one, this one's going to be mine, it always will be mine. Mine says Freddy Krueger across it. The newer ones will not say that. I won't put that on there, on somebody else's. That goes on mine. I don't want nobody else to have it on there unless It's somewhere down here at the bottom, but I want mine right there across it. But if you see my new Freddy, the backs are larger because a lot of people that have been ordering these things are bigger people. I call them the fat compatible chairs. Okay, fat and friendly. But I'm a skinnier person. My back is not as wide, so my Robert England's a little bit squished in. But if you look at the new ones, it won't say Freddy. It actually look a lot bigger design, and it sits probably a lot more comfortable than this one. But this one's mine, and I ain't getting rid of it. Just like that Myers one over there, I ain't getting rid of it.
You wanna show them where the magic happens real quick?
Yeah.
Not like so not only does he make chairs, he makes benches with tables in them. This is Spider-Man, Carnage, Venom. What all you got in here?
Basically what you just said.
Yes.
Venom, Carnage, and Spider-Man.
And you said you got some more work to do in the back as far
Yeah,
as...
I got a piece of Lexan that we're actually going to run through the back here. Where it's going to come across, and we're going to put the tendrils from, like you see, here's the tendrils. A lot of people don't know what tendrils are, but these are the tendrils. Of course, Carnage and Venom both have when they fight. And this is actually from the comic book cover. And they're fighting in front of a cityscape. Basically, we're going to take the tendrils and we're going to run them on the Lexan, where it looks like it's free floating on top of it, so it just looks like they're floating in the air. So it's basically a plexiglass. A lot of people don't know what Lexan is, so I don't want to say it's plexiglass, but Lexan is a nicer piece of plexiglass. But anyway, it'll be running across here. Once the tendrils are on, I will be scratching or etching the different parts where the tendrils are highlighted, and I'm going to run lights at the bottom, so when you turn the lights on, the tendrils will glow. The outline of them will glow, and that's just the same around as I'll etch around the side to give it like a shadow on each character. So when you turn the lights on, they will glow too. And then of course everybody knows in the comic book world that Spider-Man has two entities of himself. You got Venom and Carnage. And right here's the table. It looks like they're trying to engulf him. And it's kind of like a throw here and there, and then of course the arms are basically what the tendrils themselves. They will be painted the color. This side will be the Venom color, it'll be blue, and then this side is Carnage, so it'll be the red and black. And then of course they'll be fighting in the middle, and on the front they will have Carnage here, and then Versus, and then you'll have Venom in front.
And we will update on y'all as soon as it gets finished. I've been sending us some footage of the lighting and everything complete. Send you an update, let you know how it turned out. Because I did see the Joker, Harley Quinn with the Batman symbol, and that was an amazing piece.
That was like one of the first benches I ever made.
That was awesome. And my favorite chair, which is not here, it got sold in Maryland, was the Batman Who Laughs, which we will be showing you a picture of as well. I have a bed of spikes in my hands. Tell me a little bit more about this.
Well, I had a buddy come along who runs a company. It's a group, Dead City Collectives or Dead City Clowns, whichever one that people know them by. But they've changed their name to Dead City Collectives, and he's doing new sideshow type stuff, and he wanted a bed of nails that fold because he travels in a car, and he can't really put a 4-foot bed of nails inside of a car. So he wanted to fold up so he could put it in his trunk so he could travel around with it. So he came to me with the idea of doing this. So I went a little bit overboard on it, as I do on everything. So I made this for him. I burnt it because he has a character, his name is Stitches, and he blows fire out, so he does a fire show. So I burnt the wood to kind of mimic his character a lot. And then of course, since he's a dark entity, we did the dark stain on it. And we also put the logos on it for the Dead City Collectives. Here's the actual logo itself with the machete, bat, and shovel. That's Stitches' weapon of choice, and then the eye is actually Stitches' eye.
Does Stitches have a Facebook page?
Yes, he does.
We'll put a link to that in our
then
description as well.
Here's the logo for their DCC, Dead City Collectives, or Dead City Clowns.
And that way, maybe we can get a chance to...
If you pick it up just a little bit, we scoot over and we'll fold it, and you can fold it in towards me.
I want to see it on the other side all the way out.
And then we can fold it up, and he could put that bad boy in the trunk of his car.
see it fully folded with the nails.
And you ready to turn it?
Yes, sir. All right. Now, if you kindly would, could you give us an example of laying on it?
Well, it's not going to be up here. I'll put it on the floor or outside.
Oh, no.
I don't mind.
I don't want anybody to die today or call an ambulance.
It's sharp.
Yeah. That
But like
does
I
not
said-
feel good.
And I do test my products. I make sure they work. I did test this the other day.
How many Band-Aids?
None.
Oh, okay.
No
Just a couple
bruising.
bruises.
No.
Did you crack a center block on your stomach while you did it?
No, I didn't do all that.
Okay.
I wasn't out here.
Okay.
Now, I had a few friends that saw the thing, and they messaged me later saying I should get an act together doing stuff. It's like, I just tested my product. That's it. I ain't gonna go get hit with
No.
sledgehammers and stuff. So
First time I've actually seen a bed of spikes, and no. I wouldn't do
sure,
it.
you want to test it? We'll
Yeah.
test it.
No. I'm almost 300 pounds.
Come on.
I'm not laying on there.
I'll test it. I'll show you.
Come out my eyes.
Come on,
So-
pick it up. We'll take it outside. I'll test it. I'll show you.
You
Oh!
want to
You
pop
gonna
it?
pop me? But-
Too much time at the chiropractor.
That's-
No. Don't stand on it, baby.
It works.
Those are sharp.
Now over here I got some stuff from Amber that I would like to show off.
Let me go ahead and take this.
This piece I
Body's
feel
stuck with it.
is kind of sentimental on our side because my wife,
Mommy, take this off.
her grandmother's name was Momo, and the butterflies mean a lot. So I do love. You have an amazing gift of wood burning.
Yes.
And
Don't ask where it came from.
okay, won't ask.
Gift to God, that's all I
But
say.
I do know how difficult that can be. I have a friend that tried to do that with guitars, and he's gotten really good at it, but it took a long time. But if I could show off these couple pieces here,
Yeah.
I cannot imagine the time put into this wood burning. If you can see all that detail,
I can't remember how long that one took, but I think it was about 12 hours or so.
jeez, that is a whole lot of detail.
What?
You want to go down the slide?
What got you into wood burning?
It looked fun,
Okay.
and I really wanted to try it. So,
What was your first piece?
it's inside, but it was just like a little small round piece. I don't have anything in here close to it, but it's just about that big.
I
So,
saw these two, and they're very just.
yeah, technically, the one you just showed was the first piece that I used with the upgraded wood burner that I had.
I was gonna say that was your first piece. That's amazing.
Because my first original pieces started with like the $13
like the wood.
Walmart wood burner.
Yeah. Well, this piece I have to show off because the bench isn't here, and we'll show you a picture of it. But the Harley Quinn Joker bench, and Krista, don't get mad if this is in my car when I get home. Trying to wheel and deal. All right. So we're gonna go out here. This is where all the magic happens at
Yes.
ANC Creations.
I would say that that one there is not completed, and I've already got over 25 hours in it.
Oh, jeez. I mean, just look. I don't know if you can get close enough on it, but the detail in just the petals and wood burning, that's insane to me.
Yes, that one there is completed. But
Yeah.
I
The
can't
details in
remember.
the skull.
I think that was about 20 to 22 hours that I put in that one.
But that's the whole thing about independent art is people don't realize, because being an independent artist myself, my wife's a cake maker. It takes a lot of time to make these one-of-a-kind items. People say, well, I could just go to Publix to get the,
Yeah, you can just get a
Same
picture
thing.
spray painted on there.
yeah, but you're going to get what you pay for. If you want something that's one-of-a-kind, handmade, with great talent, you're going to pay for it, but it's going to be an amazing piece that you will cherish for the rest of your life. It'll be that piece when people come over to see your collection. They won't be like, well, I have that and that. No. They'll have to stop there and say, never even seen that.
Yeah, the question shouldn't be how much is it, it's how much time was put
Yes.
into it.